Hi dear audience, in this short video we would be discussing how to write a research proposal. There are five parts for writing a research proposal. First is the introduction, second is the literature review, third is the research methodology, and the fourth is the data analysis, and the fifth is findings and conclusion. Both for writing research proposal and for the thesis, the format is the same one. While dealing with the introduction means these are the parts. Uh, in introduction, we narrate our problem that what sort of you are going to do that. For example, if you are going to a Lacanian theory on a particular novel, then you would be mentioning that what is the significance, what is the Lacanian philosophy, and how it can be incorporated in modern fiction or on your own text. And in that, you would be developing in the part of introduction, you would be writing your research questions, research objectives, and then delimitations as well. For example, if you are doing only work on a single novel, then there is no need to write the delimitations. But if you are going to select a lot of fiction writers. For example, Jane Austen has six or seven novels, and if you are going to mention, if you are mentioning in your introduction in your topic that you are going to do the research on this only particular one novel, for example, Pride and Prejudice, then there is no need to write the delimitations. For example, if you are going to write your proposal like this, the feminist critique of the novels of selected novels of Jane Austen, if in this case you would be creating a delimitation that I would be focusing the following selected novels, then you would be mentioning in the delimitations. And so far as your research questions are concerned, in your research question, you mentioned that what sort of the characters, what sort of the discourse analysis, what sort of the themes you are going to ask that. For example, if we talk about the Lacanian theory, it's very wide one. One concept of that Lacanian theory is of the othering and categorization of that. So I would be mentioning in my research question that I would be doing this study from this perspective. And in the literature review, you basically narrate your research, your theory, and with that, you also talk about the previous researches conducted to some particular perspective of Lacanian theory. Even on that writer are some on some other writers. So uh, in literature review, you basically talk about your previous researches. And then is the third part is the research methodology. In research methodology, you talk about the framework. For example, I explain uh, framework is the person of theory of a particular person on which you might be the talking. For example, deconstruction is a very large sphere of criticism, and there are very large number of critics who have talked about deconstruction. But if I particularly find one person who might be relevant to my research, then I would be mentioning his theory of uh, or his model, his theory of that deconstruction. So in framework, you have to select only a single writer, so it means critics, on whose theory you are going to apply on your novel. And in the data analysis, you do what? You select some textual references from your novel and then apply these in your these theoretical insights on your novel. Then you give reference from your novels and talk in the light of that theory. And then in the fifth part, you find out you write down findings and conclusions. One major difference which is about the between the thesis and the research proposal is that in research proposal you just propose that this study would be conducted in line of this and this like this. So you use the word will and would be. For example, if for writing the significance of the study, I would be writing like this, that my study would be significant for the academians, for the theorists, for the students, for pedagogical perspectives. I will apply this model. I would be using this theory for my analysis. In chapter number 4, I would be doing the data analysis. In my chapter 5, would deal with the findings and the conclusions. While in the research thesis, you just write the present tense or the past sentence. For example, while writing the significance of the study, and your thesis, you use the term like my study is significant. My study uh, was conducted over there. I did this. I done that. Like this, you would be mentioning. This is the basically the difference of the sentence as well. So this is all about writing a research proposal. If you have any question, you can ask me as well. I would be answering those.